Sanbonani, Sanbonani, Southern Africa. My name is Kati Dijane. I'm honored to be sitting next to the nuncio himself, the representative of His Holiness Pope Francis, and I'm so honored for him allowing young people through myself access to him as we're going to have a conversation with him. His name is Archbishop Henryk Jagodziński. Yes, I've been practicing with him, and I'm glad that at least I'm getting there. And so he is the papal nuncio to Southern Africa, and these countries would entail Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho, Namibia, amongst others. And so he's been in the diplomatic service for the Holy See for the past 23 years. And so we just want to get to know him. And as young people, we just want to kind of like know what the role entails and just to get to know him better. So, Your Grace, thank you so much for gracing us with your time this afternoon.
Good afternoon to everybody. I am so happy that in this way I could speak with you and share my experience and also explain the role of the apostolic nuncio and also explain what is Holy See.
Yes, awesomeness. Thank you so much. So before we get to the technicalities, we would like to get to know you better. So when I was doing a bit of reading about you, I saw that you entered the seminary at the age of 19. And it's so interesting because what I have also seen is that a lot of priests or religious nuns, a lot of them who enter into the service usually start as altar servers. And I just wanted to know do you think from your experience there's a link or a connection between serving at the altar to eventually maybe joining the seminary?
In my case, I should confirm that I was altar boy before, and I started to go to the school and also in seminary. I can say majority of my fellows before I entered the seminary, they were altar boys. Of course, there were also some colleagues who didn't have this experience, but also this explains so that in many cases the vocation is not something which come in very fast moment, like in case of St. Paul, and we come down probably from the horse on the earth. But this is some process, and also when you see the vocation of St. John, who asked the Lord, where are leaving you? And Lord has answered, come and see. And many young boys, when they went to the house of the Lord, they started feeling that Lord called them to stay with him forever, very close manner.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting, Your Grace. And I just wanted to know in terms of when you told your parents that you want to be a priest, how were their reactions? And I'm asking this in context of maybe parents who are not ready to let their children go and be priests and seminarians, because naturally they would expect maybe grandchildren or their kids to be married. So from your experience, how did your parents take it? And then can you please maybe advise parents out there who just seem to struggle to let their children go to be of service to the church?
Well, in my case, it was practically almost 37 years when I thought that I will go to the seminary. And you can imagine 37 years is a lot of time. And at that time, it was a very specific time in history of my country. So to become a priest, this was also a big honor for the family. And of course my parents were very, very happy. And also that I have two siblings, so that wasn't the problem that they will not have the grandchildren. My brother has also 3 children, my sister 2 daughters, so even my parents, which unfortunately already passed away, they saw birth of the grandchildren. So that in my time when I entered in the seminary, the situation in Poland and the world was a little, well, quite different than is now.
So, with that said, at least your parents had more kids, so they were like, okay, it's fine, you can go. But your advice, and I'm talking about this in the context of the fact that I'm sure by now you have witnessed that we are experiencing a shortages of priests, and maybe sometimes maybe that child would want to have a conversation with their parents.
Now, my advice, first of all, to pray to the Lord and ask Him the wisdom and the light. And of course, even your children will be 60 years old, 70 years old, and you will be 90 something. You will consider them your children. But you should understand that one day they become adult, and one day they should take responsibility for their life. And we call the priesthood, or to be religious, a vocation, not a profession, not as some choose, but vocation. It means somebody else call your son or your daughter. And of course, every parent would like that your children be happy. And children will be happy when could realize their vocation. So that try thinking about it. What really make my son or my daughter happy, and which is their real vocation. And question to have grandchildren or grandchildren also is not guarantee if he will marry or she will be married. Unfortunately, it happened that some people, for many reasons, couldn't have children. And it's not mean that in this case their life doesn't have some sense or is not handicap life. No. In this life, in this world, which is not perfect, also that things happen, and we like Christian, we should be able also to live a difficult situation, also to know to live the crossway, how the our Lord teaches us that who would like to follow Him should carry his cross on his back and imitate Him.
That is quite profound, especially in line with what you're mentioning about the call to happiness, and that it's important for people to be happy with what they are called to do. And also, with that said, I think the most interesting thing is that just a brief background that Your Grace, you were born in Poland on New Year's Day. So happy belated birthday in 1969. So I just wanted to also mention and highlight that you, Saint John Paul II, was your Archbishop at some point.
No, he was Archbishop of my province, but yes, but I am originally from the neighbor diocese, Kielce.
Oh, okay. And I mean, when it comes to now what you do in the diplomatic services of the Holy See, how does that happen? Because after obtaining your doctorate in canon law, then you trained for diplomacy. Is it something that you are appointed to do, or is it something that comes from your heart that you say you want to, be in the diplomatic service?
Well, this is a beautiful moment during the priest ordination. I hope that majority of the people who is watching us assisted at the priest ordinations, and this is the moment when the priest put his hands in the hands of the bishop, and the bishop ask him, if you promise obedience to me and my successor. Yes, I do. And it means that the bishop represents the church, and you put your life in the hands of the church. And where church send you is your vocation. So when I decided to enter to the seminary, I didn't have some project what I would like to do. If I would like to be parish priest, assistant, or be, I don't know, the chaplain in prison, in a hospital, or teaching theology in university. No, so I just give my life, and it's about my bishop superior who decide when they send me. That after my priest ordination, I worked 2 years like parish assistant, and during these 2 years I did many things. I was teaching also catechism in the school, from the kindergarten to the high school. I teach, I think, 20 hours by week, many classes in different schools. Also, I take care of altar boys, and in Sunday we have, yes, here you have a lot of outstation, but normally in Poland, in some parishes, one church. But in our case, on Sunday we have 4 places where we said the Mass every week. And then Bishop sent me to study the canon law. So I should say that in seminary it wasn't this subject that I really like it. I like it, the history of the church, theology, but canon law seems a little boring. But well, Bishop decided. I say, of course, thank you, my Lord. I will go to study. And then after 2 years, when I made master on canon law, that bishop proposed my name to the Pontifical Academy. And then during the time 2 years in academy, I also made my doctorate. So that also wasn't something that I desire or I ask. This is not me who choose, but somebody else who choose and propose me. Of course, I could say no, but it is my philosophy, so never ask, never refuse. And also, also I never asked to come to your beautiful country, South Africa. But when superior proposed me to send me here, with pleasure, I accepted.
And so, with that said, so it was your bishop who sent you to further your studies and to continue this work. So, how was that process? Was the bishop the one that appointed you that you should now go train to be a diplomat, or is it something that you feel like I want to do this?
No, that was the choice of my bishop. Maybe this I should explain that I didn't have a very usual seminary, because after 2 years of seminary I was sent to Polish seminary in Paris in France. So and after these 2 years I come back and continue in my diocese, so that I had a little different process of studying, and my bishop seeing also my formation, and seems he saw in me some qualities that he decided to propose my name for the diplomatic academy. So maybe I should also explain that at that time, you can imagine, when I entered in seminary, only in my year we were 50, 1 year 50. In our seminary for one diocese, we were 200 something. So that's at that time the bishop, and this was not only case of my diocese, also other dioceses in Poland, they had a lot of priests at that time. So and I think this was also the reason that my bishop was so generous and offered some priests to service of the Holy See, who probably and yeah, it happened that I never come back for work in my diocese. So of course I come for holidays, but not for regular work.
And over the years, I mean, you've been through or two different continents. You've been to places like Asia, India, and I would like to know from your years being, a diplomat or a nuncio to different countries. What would you say are some of the differences that you see that affect our Catholic faith? So, what is different from all the different countries that you've served from Africa itself?
Well, from even in Africa, before coming here in South Africa, I was nuncio in Ghana for years, and my stage after first year of formation I passed in Senegal, 2 months, and you can see also the difference between some countries from which and other. So also that you couldn't say, yeah, you can try say the church in Europe, but this is too large, because every country in Europe is different. And also from my personal experience, also sometime somebody used this expression church in Africa, but every country has his specific mode of life, his faith, because it's also different when you are in some country where Catholics are majority, and it's different when the Catholic Church is small minority, and also it depends also of the past, of history, and also of the culture of the people, because it is different when you live, for example, on close to ocean, or you are living in desert, or you're living in mountains. Also the geography has its influence to customs, to culture, to the tradition of the people. And it is different when you have culture of hunters, of warriors, or culture of agricultors. This is quite different. But from other hand, when you took the Bible and you read the Bible from the beginning to the end, and you reflect about the people, that we can say, yes, we have difference what we are eating, what we are drinking, but we have similar problem with our life, with how to observe 10 commandments, how to love our neighbor, how to not hate our enemies, how to reconcile with others, how to ask the forgiveness, how be faithful to the Lord and to His faith. And in every continent, you couldn't show some nation or some tribe. Oh, this is example for whole world. They live perfect. Not, unfortunately, not. And for this reason, Jesus come and incarnate. The Word become flesh and dwell among us, and died and resurrected from the dead for our salvation. Because despite our differences, we have the same human nature, and with some particular difference. What I said, that maybe we have different languages, different foods, different color of the skin. In some countries, people is highest, some is or tallest, but the nature is the same, and especially now with globalization, that, for example, this interview could be seen, thank you, internet, in every corner of this world. This was not like 40 years ago, that if something wasn't printed or shown in television, nobody know what happened. And now you know what the things happened immediately. And despite that, we like to emphasize our differences, that we, yes, this, to discuss is the good or bad things, the globalization, but we are accessed for the same news, but also we are formed by the same process. And for example, the music, and also this could be strange, but also some type of the food. So you can see the Coca-Cola is everywhere, or pizza, or some ingredients like ketchup you could find everywhere, and and especially now we have also the similar problem, how to really believe in God, how to really be faithful to His word, and also this temptation from the first book of Bible, book of Genesis, that the sin of Adam and Eve was this was temptation by the Satan, who said, you will be like gods. If you take these fruits, you will decide what is good, what is wrong, what is bad. And unfortunately, these temptations continue. Because even the people commit the crime, they never say, I would like to do wrong thing. No, even they kill somebody, they say, yes, generally speaking, is bad, but in this case, try to explain that really is some justification. And when the people do that, they put himself on the place of God, because God said not kill. And it's not discussion.
Yes, so the sentiment I'm getting from what you are saying, Your Grace, is the fact that despite globalization and the fact that now we kind of like know what's happening thanks to the dawn of the internet, there are different cultures, yet as human beings we have the same core issues and problems. And I think for me, with that said, then how does your role play a significant part of our Catholic faith? I mean, as you mentioned, in 2020 you were sent to Ghana for diplomacy there. So the cultural differences and the challenges we face as Christians, especially in have an impact on helping and consoling Catholics around the world.
And first of all, that we will start of the beginning. When you presented me, you said very well that I am a representative of Holy Father. And the mission of the Holy Father is to guarantee unity of the Catholic Church. And also, how you remember from the Gospel of St. John, the prayer of Jesus, that he prayed to his Father that his disciples be united. And the role of apostolic nuncio is in the name of the Pope, to help the local church to be united with Rome, with Pope, and also help them to accomplish their mission. And mission on every diocese, every parish is very simple: the salvation of these souls. And for this we have the sacraments, and like universal church we have some issues which are reserved to the Rome, to the Holy Father. For example, nomination of the bishops, also the questions of the canon law. And now, how we know, we are living the process of synodality, and also the great Jubilee of the birth of Jesus. And these two initiatives are promoted by the Holy Father. because also we have some temptations, and every day we have some temptation. But it's one temptation to close in our small group and not look out of our place. And it's necessary that we should be, especially I think here in South Africa, when we are practically more or less 7% of the population, that we are member of very big family, which is over billions of faithful, and on the head of this family is Holy Father. Now this is Pope Francis, and we should pray each other, and how this beautifully explains St. Paul, presenting church like human body, that every part of body is very important, even it seems not important, but for example the nose, no, you don't reflect, but without no, it will be problem when you don't feel or you can breathe, so they paralyze your life. And also this solidarity have also some concrete example, especially when something bad happen. The other churches comes with help, sometimes even directly Holy Father give his help. And also the solidarity in the faith, that even the faith in Africa is from the apostolic time, because even the Jesus was in Africa. That's how we remember when they left the Bethlehem, because Herod tried to kill him. He went to Egypt, and Egypt is in Africa. So, and also the first apostle disciples, and North Africa, this was the center of Christianity, and many popes from the first centuries come from there, and still we are studying the big fathers of the church, like for example Saint Augustine, who was from Hippona, and the other part of continent was evangelized by the missionary. We come from north part of the world, and now we see the process that many missionaries from Africa come to Europe, to United States. Even in my seminary, in my diocese, we have 12 seminarians from Africa, 8 from Central African Republic, and 4 from Angola. But in many countries, like even like Italy, France, Germany, you have many parish priests which come from African country, because in their country they don't have enough vocation, and many countries in Africa are blessed with big number of vocation, and it was beautiful that they share also with other churches the priests, because how I said, we are big family, and we are universal community. And Catholic Church is never reserved to some language, people and race, and for this reason the Catholic Church never was agree with apartheid, because this is against our faith. We can divide people because of some differences, and until cancel apartheid, Holy See didn't have the diplomatic relation with South Africa. Only after collapse of apartheid was regular diplomatic relation were stabilized between Holy See and South Africa.
Okay, to the young person listening to this interview, can you simplify it for us? Because, you talk about diplomacy, now they're thinking about politicians and politics. So, can you please simplify it for us? What exactly is it that you do? Yes, we do understand that you represent His Holiness Pope Francis here. But can you just make it simple for that young person that, okay, we have a representative. What is he doing in Southern Africa?
Not that well, maybe this was too long, but how I told you, this is many question which is reserved to the Holy See. For example, nomination of the bishops, creation of new dioceses, some process of studying, some process of which is regarding of the religious congregation is also reserved to the Holy See. Question of seminaries, the program, and many things are everything what is regarding the liturgy is decided in Rome, and for implementation many times the local church is asking approval from Rome, so that this is regarding the contacts between local church and Rome. But apostolic nuncio is also ambassador to the civil authority, like others ambassadors, so that I can say that we are one of the oldest diplomacy in the world, and our diplomatic academy is the oldest academy in the world. Was founded in 1701, and we have two subjects of international law: Holy See, which is the central government of the Catholic Church, and Vatican City State, which is the smallest country in the world. And the head of these two entities is Holy Father. Of course, the relation we have both, that it means the Holy See and Vatican City, and also we have the contact with the civil authority, what is regarding the religious freedom, human rights, question of peace, collaboration in healthcare and education. And this is the kind of the things where we collaborate with the civil authorities.
Okay, young people, I hope you understand now how important our nuncio is in terms of diplomacy and relationship with Rome. With that said, Your Grace, in June, if I'm not mistaken, you'll be celebrating, is it 30 years as a priest? Because you were ordained in 95?
Yes, exactly. This will be 30 years of my priesthood, which I will celebrate in Poland.
Can I come? Can I come?
Yes.
Okay, guys. He said I'm coming. I'm coming in June. And so, what have been the highlights and challenges of not only being, a representative or a diplomatic representative, but as a priest? So, what do you find fulfilling and what do you find challenging?
No, challenging every day, how I thought the challenge to discover the God's will and follow this God's will, even you don't understand it sometimes, because sometimes is not clear, and is sometimes very difficult to discern if this is my will or God's will. Of course, in the theoretical plan, yes, we have the help, the prayer, meditation, holy scriptures, and sometimes you really should do your decision alone, and this is the one of the biggest challenge. And also sometimes, like human, you are working on something and you don't see the fruits, and you ask yourself, oh yes, that is necessary to continue this project, maybe change. And this is the confidence if church, which is spoken by the superior, trust you and ask you to do this project, you should continue. And yes, in many countries, especially after COVID, many parish priests and bishops were surprised that the number of the religious practice declined. That some people habituated to watching the Holy Mass on television or pray only in his room and not need and not feel necessity to go to the church and have the relation with other brothers and sisters in faith. And I think one of the global problem in the world is the big individualism and loneliness. When you see when people meet, what the people do, take mobile phone and looking, and especially young generation, because old generation sometimes is constrained to speak because have problem with eyes and couldn't see good mobile phone and couldn't operate. So but young generation which is growing with mobile phone sometimes have problem with communication each other. When I was child, and not only me but my colleagues, the parents had a lot of difficulties to get us home back, because we would like to play even if it was dark. We would like to continue to play, and now I should go to home, it's dark, sleep, pray, or pray and sleep. And now it's opposite. So in many families, the parents have the problem to send out the children because they prefer stay at home and play on computer. and there's no problem playing or have the mobile phone, but the problem is the relation. And in many countries, the consequences of this problem in communication you see in the problem that people have difficulties to build a family, to communicate each other. So many people divorce, or many people wouldn't marry, wouldn't founded families because or they they feel good in some own words or have the difficulties for communication. And this was very also strange that during time of COVID many people was constrained to pass a lot of time together, and they were not habituated, even they were married, but every day somebody went to the work, or at least one. And then, and they were, it's a Sunday they passed together, but one day or maybe two is okay. But some months together from the morning to the evening, and after many people had the problem to continue the family life, and this discover the lack of personality in communication.
And with that said, in terms of what you've observed, the challenges have been, what you're saying is reminding me of my sister when she sometimes helplessly watches her kids watch YouTube. She's like, it's so sad that we are watching families on YouTube playing instead of us as a family like playing. But also with that said, despite some of the challenges you've witnessed or experienced, what have been the highlights of being a priest? The highlights, or what have you enjoyed about being a priest?
Well, the first of all, this celebrating Holy Mass, that I can say essential to be priest. It means to celebrate the sacraments on behalf of Jesus Christ. And the first of all, if Eucharist, Holy Mass, when we celebrate His passion, death, and resurrection, and also despite that it seems it's a little different, the diplomatic work and priest vocation, but in practice is not too very far one activity from other, because priests and diplomats are working with the people, and like nuncio, I meet many people, and everybody know that I am nuncio, and also sometimes they ask me, put the question regarding the faith, and have confidence that because they know that I am priest, and we sometimes with open heart come with the question regarding the faith, and this is beautiful. And you know that this everything happened because of Jesus Christ. It's not because you are smart, intelligent. Sometimes could happen, but because like priests you represent Jesus Christ, and this is wonderful.
That's a beautiful, beautiful answer, Your Grace. And I think I'm wrapping up the interview now, but we are in the Jubilee Year of Hope. And I just love how Pope Francis just says that we're living in times where we have to fan the flames of hope because of the turbulent situations we face. So, with that said, what is your message of hope to people in Southern Africa, especially young people? So, how can you encourage them to have hope?
The first of all, hope is mean not be afraid. Not be afraid of life and not be afraid of the other. And also to be conscious that your life is very precious for God, because if wasn't that, simply God couldn't be created you. But if you born, it means you are very important. And doesn't matter if something your dreams couldn't realize. Doesn't matter if you are in difficult situation, but you imagine that even you are conscious of the presence of God. This is wonderful, because what we said about the happiness that the parents want their children be happy, also God created us that we could be happy, but forever. But to join this happiness, sometime we should pass for some difficult moments, some improve. But in the end, God would like really that we could have happiness forever in His presence. And this is a big temptation of desperation, that the evil would like to convince you now your life is miserable, and everything in your life is bad, and even now is maybe good, but will be not forever. And this is the bad advisor, and simply temptation. Because what decide that we are happy or not? This is our heart, our feeling. And it's not mean that when you have many things that you are more happy. No. This is how you are living your life, how you are living your relation with God. This is some story about the Alexander the Great, which created one of the biggest empire, the Greek Empire. And when he went Greece, he met a great Greek philosopher, Demosthenes, and he was living in some boats, and he arrived and asked him, "Master, say everything you wish I could do for you." And he asked him, "Could you please move out, because I can see the sun?" Because he arrived in this state of his spirit, that yes, sunshine was for him more important than some power, some big office. It's true, the happiness is inside us, and even so, of course, that is not. I encourage you to do nothing and just find the happiness inside. No, but working, praying, and realizing your vocation, you can become happy. And this is important to not be discouraged and to continue. And how you see in the example of our Lord Jesus Christ. It seems that with his crucifixion, his mission finished, and this was only the beginning. And sometimes is in our life like that in human eyes, when you are looking something, you know, this is some disaster, some collapse, but this is many times is beginning to a new chapter, and sometimes it's necessary to pass by difficult moments to understand and to meet the Lord.
And what I appreciate and love about our church, the Catholic Church, is that it really has been a pilgrim of hope even before this was made an official theme, because I love how our church journeys with us through different seasons of life. It's not like if you have challenges, it's you are punished and then you have to buy your blessings, but you journey with us as the clergy and as the church, which is what I love. And with that said, I also love your Episcopal motto. So I couldn't pronounce Episcopal. I had to practice it. So I love your Episcopal motto, which says, "In finis orbis." To the ends of the world.
This was for my bishop ordination, so that normally when somebody is nominated bishop, could choose his motto and coat of arms. And I choose this quotation from Psalm, and this is mean about the glory which is going on the end of the glory of God is going of the on the end of the world. But also I choose that because like papal representative, I am ready to go to the end of the road, to the world, to announce the good news of gospel.
Your Grace, thank you so much for allowing young people to have access to you. And I really hope and pray that, you know, your journey here in Southern Africa as the nuncio will be a fruitful, fulfilling one. Because as much as you're here to support us and represent the Pope, we hope that we will also pray for you and support you in your journey. So not just the Catholic Church, but I hope the countries at large will just support your mission and vision. And for me, with that said, I would like for you to please, when you're on the call with the Pope, please tell him that Southern African youth love him very much.
So I will do that in June. I'm going to Jubilee of the Nuncios. That we will have also the meeting with Holy Father. That certainly I will greet him from the youth of Southern Africa.
Definitely, and I hope young people are represented you very well. And yes, God bless you, Your Grace, for everything that you have been doing, and may God continue to bless you on your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless you too. In the name of the Father and Son of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And yes, I was trying my best to not be too nervous, and I hope I did answer some of the questions you've also had about the role of the nuncio in Southern Africa. His Grace, Archbishop Henryk Jagodziński.
Very well. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Take care. I love you very much.